Hey ladies and gents, SpoonyPizzas here, and today I want to share with you my first impressions of version 2.1.1. Now I'm going to play one online game and then show you the highlights of an offline game and see if there's any noticeable differences in the gameplay. And as you're probably aware, my overall impression of 2.1 is not all that great. So hopefully we're going to see some changes to the gameplay, otherwise it's going to be more of the same. So we find a 5-bar connected opponent. So this is my current team at the minute. I know a lot of you have been asking. So Mbappe up top, Messi and Foden in behind, Neymar and Koeman on the wings, Kante, Jorginho, Koulibaly, Van Dijk, Alaba and Keylor Navas in goal. My opponent's team, if we just take a look, it's a 4-5-1, pretty stable formation that, decent back line and quite a quick strike force. I quite like he's gone for a very sort of balanced and sensible lineup here. Kessie and Aguisa defensive midfielders, so excited to see how this one plays out. So I think two of the most frustrating things for me right now, or in the recent additions, is the slowness of turns online, and I want to test that against offline play as well. I'll be doing some more analysis in my review, which should come Saturday hopefully, after I blitz playing this game over the next few days. Here's Koeman. Just want to do a little... Yeah, it's still... This seems a little bit faster in terms of the player speed turning. It's one of the big gripes for me. Just going to hold our position here. There we go. That 6 across midfield is very nice for stopping your opponent progressing. Neymar, 1-0. So one thing I do like about eFootball is the skills and the responsiveness of them, especially if you've got a really good player. My opponent is a pretty good player actually. Oh! And that's one of the things that happens in this game now. The ball goes through defenders like that. 2 defenders. Something I pointed out last time. He's gone for an attacking strategy now, so look for those long balls over the top. Getting behind the defence. Oh, lucky boy. So far it does feel a little bit better than it has been in the past, but it's only when you start getting collisions that's the true test, because you get a lot of things not get called for fouls and what have you, so that's just likes chasing the ball, I see. Nice. Intercept it eventually, and just going to bring players back here. There we go. Intercept that one, and then we progress the ball forward. Just a little bit quicker this time. The blocker and the interception skills are more important now. Tell you what, the turning speed is definitely being increased. Oh, and that's what I'm talking about. No fouls being called for those sort of challenges. And that, I mean, that just says everything about the game right now. Oh, look at Mbappe. Look at this crap. This is what I'm talking about. This is why this game is not good right now. People defending it, it's just ridiculous. It's not because I'm bad at the game. It's not. Look at that for a finish. Jeez. It's not because I'm bad at the game or anything like that. It's just this game is just not good. And it's things like that that just make this. It's the same issues coming out again as the old version. The only thing I would say that seems to be better is the player turning speed, and that was a big gripe for me. Like Neymar was turning like an absolute tank, and that does seem to be resolved. Looks like they've added a few more animations in there, because before he used to like I say, just turn so slowly. I'm just gonna hang back here. Stay nice and compact. He can work really hard for her. Oh, that's nice. Overpassed it. Oh. He overpassed it there. You had a really good opportunity. He's a good player, this player, so it's nice to see that I'm playing someone half decent who knows what they're doing. I figured he would because he had a nice balanced squad. Sometimes you come across players who've got all the world stars. They chuck them together and it's like there's no real thought process behind it. They just play players because they got the highest overall rating. And those guys are the guys you know going to be an easy matchup. You know, if they just play like a ridiculous formation just to fit in the players that have, like I say, got the highest overall rating. There's Neymar, Messi. Nice little turnover, little ball over the top. I love that, by the way. Go on, Neymar. Okay, so I think we shaded the first half. Just a bit. 5 shots, 2 on target to none. He just overpassed a little bit. In that, I should have scored more. For sure. I'm not sure how Mbappe missed that. Well, the keeper saved that last effort, but it is what it is. No foul, ref. He just crashed into the back of me. No, okay. Again, collisions, fouls, not called for. It's just, and look at that. I mean, even from me myself, like I've literally just barged that guy off the ball. It creates this delay of. You saw where his player sort of stopped, and that is so frustrating. Again, reset, drag players back. Make sure the defence and midfield are nice and tight together. One thing I haven't noticed yet is players wandering out of position. Very, very bad in the last one. I did mention it in my review, I'm sure I did. You would find my fullbacks and my centre backs would rotate position. My wingers, especially in this 3-6-1 formation, would come in field and not go back. It was a little bit frustrating. Not go like, what the hell is going on? Honestly, I haven't done any tactics, by the way. I just jumped straight into the game. I wasn't going to bother with like tactical setup. Sometimes I set and assign players to be man marked or tightly marked. Well, that was supposed to be a small chip into Kante, but he just boots it forward up to Mbappe. Interesting. Thank you very much. Ah, bit of a delay on that pass. Not sure why. No.
The attendance for this match was 71,515.
I'm looking for the pass too much now, forward. So I need to just be a bit more sensible about going forward. Be a bit more dominant. There we go, okay. Let's go. He's pulled out a player there. Mbappe's in. No foul, ref? Of course not. Again, just pathetic. Like, either stop players falling over so frequently, or it's just a nightmare. I tried to go through his legs. Oh. Again, the common occurrence of players just falling over is just ridiculous. Oh god, that's awful. Every player of mine's got one touch pass pretty much. I'll try to intercept that. Again, overpassing it. And I know why, because the chance of scoring is not all that high and Mbappe's in here. I think he's quit. I think he's quit. I think he's quit. I mean, I would. I super cancelled this. Did not mean to like go away from the ball, but the unresponsiveness, I couldn't make him go back towards the ball. Like, super cancelling is alright, but it's pathetic. I might give this guy a goal back, in fact. Do you know what? I'm going to give this guy a goal back. That was just crap. Go on, dude. Go and score. I'm not having a goal like that. I'm not scoring a goal like that. Sorry. It keeps me in the game for the next 10 minutes. And besides, I'd get dispirited like he was when he just sort of put the control pad down. But yeah, it's a slight improvement, definitely over the last version. Definitely. But there's still so much wrong with it. It's hard to recommend. It really is going to be hard to recommend playing. And like in one game, you see most of the issues coming back again to sort of haunt us. You know, so
there will be 1 minute at a time.
It's not an enjoyable experience. So, let me summarize. This is definitely an improvement over the last version, but there's still so much wrong with it. The collisions, non-foul calls, the players consistently falling over, that's always a major issue. I think the one thing they have improved, much of this is most the same. It feels better in the overall feel of the players and the way they turn. They've increased the amount of animations in players turning 180, and that was a real big issue for me. So like when you used to turn 180, the ground that you could cover to make up and get back and make an interception was far too easy. I just think this is a better experience. The players feel better, but they've, like I said, the collisions and some of the stuff that goes on in the game just needs to be fixed. If that gets sorted, that's going to be a start. One thing I will say about this game, and it's the first PES that's never made me feel good about scoring a goal. Every time I score, it's just like, yeah, great. Even if I score a long range, stunning kick, it doesn't make me feel anything. The goalkeepers are not quite right, in my opinion. I don't know how I can put my finger out. I don't know if you guys get the same. Does anyone out there feel good when you score a goal online? I just feel relief. I feel relief that the ball's gone in the back of the net. And I think you could probably judge that by the reaction. If I go back to my reaction to these goals, certainly the second one, it was just like, I was just embarrassed to score that one. So I think if you're a player that wants to sort of this game is good for slow progressive play and very tactical. I really like that about it. But they got to fix the collisions. But I'm just saying that when you score a goal, I feel nothing. I don't feel happy. Don't feel elated. I don't feel like jumping out of my seat and going, oh, what a goal that was. Or even if I produce multiple skills or whatever and score a great goal, I just like the goalkeeper is like you shoot and you pretty much know it's going to go in the back of the net or you're going to miss. Like there's such a non-entity right now. There's no sort of, I think they're too predictable whether they're going to save it or not. You know if they're going to save it. It's not like, oh, that was a great save. You know, in this game you're just like, oh yeah, it's just the same animations, the same. It's like you're in the same position. You shoot this way, he's gonna save it, or he's not gonna save it. And I just think there's no. I just think because it's so clunky, the whole controls is. You never feel like you've got true control over your striker, that you can really determine like that one-on-one battle. You know, when you get in a penalty box, controls need to feel really responsive. One thing that all the PES versions did really well, especially PES 2018, 17, and 19, is when you get to the one-on-one situation, you get to choose what you want to do. It was like a battle of wits between you and the goalkeeper, and I think you've lost that in this one. I just feel like you're out of control half the time. You feel like you're stretching through your shots, and you don't really have full control over what's going to happen. You have to like think of what's going to happen rather than react. I think that's the best way to put it. You have to be proactive rather than reactive, and if you get it wrong, like I went for that chip shot with Mbappe, and I got it wrong because I expected the keeper to come out. I thought he was going to press triangle, but it's just things like that. It's like I have to predict that he was going to come out. I can't wait for him to come out, because if he comes out, I got to press the button like 2 or 3 seconds earlier, because the game is so unresponsive in that regard. Because it's waiting for your player to catch up to the ball, because it's a slower paced game. So I think that's the trade-off we're getting. We're getting a slower paced game, but we're getting this unresponsive feel in the key moments. The key moments like in the penalty box. So that's, I think, where the game is becoming frustrating and falling down. I don't know what you guys think. I just think that's the way I feel right now. But overall, it is definitely a better feel to this game so far. But now I want to try the offline aspect and give you my thoughts on that and see if we're seeing some of the similarities. This was a very good connection, in my opinion. I didn't feel much lag. I think there's one pass where it sort of delayed it a little bit, where I might have a lag spike, but I do get lag spikes naturally on my connection. So I think overall that looks pretty good, but I'm going to do this in my full review. But let's jump into the offline section, and I'll give you my thoughts after those quick highlights, and we'll see how the game feels after that. So this is against Legend AI, and this is my first goal. It's just so cheaply given away, and it's a simple tap in. So in this clip, what we're going to see is just how much improved the dribbling is, with the player's turning circle being much sharper now. And I need to test it further, but I did a 180 with a player, and he took 3 animations. Watch this. This is a 180. Get ready. Here. See that? That was a 180, but he took like 3 animations there to do one turn, and that made it feel much more smooth and better overall, in my opinion. And then again here, you're judged by my reaction, what I think about this. Oh my god, again? Wow. It looks like they have improved the shielding a little bit as well here. Just watch this as I just use the shielding button just to turn away from that striker pressuring Van Dijk. Before, I have seen instances where Van Dijk would have been sort of just barged off the ball far too easily. A lot of players abuse the sort of shoulder barge button, which I'm going to show you in a bit, but this wasn't given as a foul. He does make contact with the ball, but the players are falling over too frequently, for my opinion. He does make a clean contact with the ball. I did review this numerous times to make sure he did actually get a touch on the ball first, but he does actually make then contact with the player. Whether that's enough contact to make Mbappe trip, I'm not so sure, but this is too frequent, in my opinion. The amount of times your players fall over, or players fall over in general, it's too much, in my opinion. So they just need to tone it down. Either players ride the challenges better. But one thing I would say is like the skill responsiveness, which you're seeing here from Neymar, is much improved, and I think we'll see a better example again. But that's another canned animation there, where I've seen that same header and the same save multiple times, so it's nothing really to write home about. But here, like I said, players are falling over far too easy. This is just a super simple cancel of the ball to cut across the defender, and he just literally collapses on the floor like he's been shot. One thing I will say is the positioning of the players, especially with the 3-6-1 formation, which was notorious for literally players drifting out of position, is much improved in this version. Again, they've increased the responsiveness of the dribbling for sure. Just watch this with Neymar. The skills are very, very responsive anyway, but I do a quick turn just here. There we go. That was no skills. It's just a normal turn. And yeah, much more responsive. The only thing I would say is the reaction time to being tackled is too quick. As you see here, Neymar gets tackled, I recover quickly and tackle him back. So that's you want to sort of take that element away without making people fall across the ground and stumble all over the place. One thing I would say is there's a very lack of animations in terms of missing. You always seem to miss by the same amount or hit the target in the same sort of places. I don't know if anyone else has sort of noticed this as well. Just seems to be a lack of variety. Someone needs to tell me how this isn't a foul. I mean, I suppose he has gone down and then continues tripped over him, but he needs more awareness here. You know, it comes off his back. He's going to do a lovely little move there, but it's just things like that. I wish he'd just jump the challenge or ride the challenge. I mentioned it earlier, but I think shoulder barges in this game are too overpowering. Just look here, I shoulder barge him, he just totally disengages from the ball after basically being forced to stop. And here, once again, they're just too overpowering, and a lot of people abuse that online, and it just makes for the game to feel very, very awkward. I think they need to tone down the shoulder barges. But here, just another spectacular bit of play by the legendary AI. Oh my goodness. Legend AI? Are you serious? Look at this. Just clear it, dude. Like, why did that guy leave it for the other defender to take over? Just doesn't make any sense to me. Look at this. What the hell? And then he just... Wow. This is a fine example actually of where the collisions are so bad. The players just get locked up and basically come to a freeze. And then your player acts like he just got hit by a truck. What the hell? And then just look at the awareness here from Koulibaly as the ball is played over the top. Just sort of hits his back or back of his head. And you'll see what I think about that reaction in game. Look at the awareness. Like, just hits the back of Koulibaly and then just... Wow. Okay, so end of the game of 2 matches against the Legend AI. Obviously, they weren't great in terms of the goals they scored because they just give the ball away very cheaply, or they put the ball in the back of their own net. Again, like I said, I think while I summarised sort of towards the end of the online match, where I think there are small improvements around, especially around the way the players feel and the ball control, but there's still a lot of moments where players don't recognise where the ball is. It hits the back of their back, there's no fouls called. But like I say, the overall feel of the game is much improved in terms of the way that players pass the ball, receive the ball. Now they can turn a little bit quicker than they used to. I don't know if they've added a few more animations in there or something. It does feel a little bit quicker in terms of doing a 180, which was disastrous in the last few editions. But overall, it's a slight improvement in my opinion over the last edition, and it doesn't feel too bad. It's not to the stage where I'm getting frustrated, but I need to play more games to sample different online connections, and then I'll give you my full review on hopefully Saturday or Sunday. Anyway, until then guys, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. Take care. Goodbye.